What's up, you Relentless Warriors? Welcome back to Relentless Fit 365, and this is going to be a little discussion how to stay focused towards your vision in 2018. I am not going to sit here and profess to have all the answers of that. I'm not even going to sit here and profess that you should listen to my advice or my opinions, and that is why I'm going to share my personal experiences on how I try to stay focused in my vision and my philosophy of if one person can do it, so can somebody else. And sometimes we get in that mindset that, this person can do it because they have exceptions or, they have talents or they have abilities that I don't have. And I want you to get away from that line of thinking, and I want you to focus on the things that, you could achieve if you had the focus of what distracts my vision and know what distracts my vision. And that's what holds us back. First thing is know yourself. That's very important to know yourself, because if you don't know yourself, other people are going to claim to know you. And when other people claim to know you, they're going to feel like they could give you advice, often unsolicited advice, often free advice, and it's worth what it is. It's free. And even though they don't know you, they don't know your goals, they don't know your internal being and your ambitions and your dreams, they're still going to have all the opinions necessary as to why you can or cannot accomplish something. And if you don't know yourself, you tend to listen to these individuals. If you know yourself, you don't listen to the opinions. I'm going to give you a case in point. Several years ago, I tried a race that had a 93% dropout rate at the time. It had a high dropout rate because it was difficult. It was 64 miles. It was in the cold. It was in the sub-zero temperatures. The terrain was rough. The snow was high. The ice was there. And many people dropped out after 40 miles and sometimes less than that. I was never in a race with that sort of distance, and some mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, bottom-feeding baboon thought that he had a better opinion about myself than me as far as the advice I should take. There's no way you could do that. You're kind of a muscle guy. Muscle guys don't do that distance. Luckily, this was only like 5 years ago. I knew myself already. I just laughed it off. Now, here's the funny thing. When I didn't complete the race the first year, oh my goodness, boy, was he the expert. I told you. I knew you weren't going to, you're a muscle guy. And there's no way. I don't know. He wasn't really Southern, but I'm not to rip on Southern people. I just giving you a different personality of what I had to listen to, even though I didn't ask for it. I didn't listen to that even still, because I kept the philosophy, and certainly several years ago, I already knew myself. I wasn't going to allow somebody who was in finance to suddenly know everything about fitness and the industry that I work in, certainly my own body. And I knew how much I trained. I knew how well I knew myself. I wasn't going to allow somebody to distract that, regardless of the opinions that he had, and regardless of the fact that I never actually completed it. I didn't listen to him, even after I didn't complete the first time. Because what I did is I learned. I learned that, the reason I didn't finish it this time is because I did this wrong. I got experience from it. So I got dehydrated. I learned how to pack my water where it didn't freeze. I learned new skills that I didn't think I would have. You don't learn from your successes. If I would have just went into this race and completed it, it would have been like, man, I told you so. And then I would have moved on. But instead, I learned from something that went wrong. And that never would have went wrong if I didn't try to drive towards something that might have seemed impossible. And we're going to talk about impossible. But to make a long story short, because that took place, I completed it the next 2 years. Guess what? Mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, bottom-feeding baboon, I don't even know where he's at these days. I worked with him for a while, and I don't know, he probably went on to smaller and less driven things. And not to insult him, but I did not give him permission to have an opinion about what my goals, what my visions, or what my dreams were. The reason I brought it up is he asked me what I was training for. And I told him, I said, well, I'm going for this thing there's no way, that's impossible. But it wasn't impossible. He thought it was impossible. But that was his stinking thinking, not mine. And so when the reason I brought that example up is that you are reaching towards things. If you're on this channel, you're watching this video, and you're thinking about fitness, and you're thinking about setting goals, and you have a vision of how you want to look at the end of 2018, you have to know yourself well if you're going to keep that vision true. Because if you don't, other people are going to come up with reasons as to why you can't do it. Very seldom are people going to say, yeah, keep pushing, unless you have somebody of like mind. A lot of times when people ask me if they can do something, let's just say 10 pull-ups or 50 push-ups or something that might seem impossible to them, the first thing I ask them is, what do you think? It doesn't really matter what I think. I can tell you all the positive words in the book to get you to achieve that, but if you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. Know yourself. That's the first one. Failures happen. You're going to fail. The first year I reached after this race, I knew I was reaching after something I've never done before. I knew that there was a chance that I was going to fail, and I didn't care. I overlooked the fact that there was going to be, or perhaps was going to be, a failure. I didn't think about failure, but I knew that in the back of my mind it was possible. But here's the thing. You learn from your failures. You do not learn from your successes. When something goes right, you think everything's okay. It's when things go wrong, if you embrace those failures, you learn from those mistakes, you actually become stronger. You know what's interesting? The third year I did this race, I was in the least shape of the first 2 years. But I completed it faster than the first 2 years. In fact, the first year I didn't complete it. The second year, I barely completed it. And then the last year, I finished the fastest. Not because I was in the best shape, because I learned from the mistakes I did in the past. Thing is true in anything in your vision. If you embrace failure, you become better at something. In fact, you have to work less. You don't have to work as hard at it because you've gained experience from what hurt so bad. It sucks to fail, I get it. But if you can learn how to embrace those failures, those are the building blocks that lead you to that vision ultimately. And the vision has to be big. I didn't really bring that up, but I'm under the assumption that the vision is big enough that people in your life are either trying to distract you, or have their own words of opinion about what you're doing, and some may even encourage you, but ultimately it has to go down to right here. Where are you at in your thinking, in your mindset towards that vision? Because nothing else matters in the surroundings of that. You have to embrace failure. You have to know that when you go into something, it could possibly go wrong before it goes right. And maybe numerous times over, it's wrong. It's wrong again. I messed up again. I still can't get this form. Still can't get those pistol rolls. But guess what? When you try and you try, you start learning things about yourself. I didn't realize I had that ability to balance like that. You wouldn't have known that if you didn't fail several times over. And those are the little things, the little building blocks that build to something bigger. Your ultimate vision. What is that ultimate vision? It has to be worth it. You have to embrace the failures that go along with it. But once you do that, you're going to overcome that, and you're going to be better as a result of it. Failures happen. Know that. They're going to happen. But those are growing periods. They're not even really failures. They're ways you've learned in the process of gaining something bigger. You're not going to gain something bigger if it comes easily, because you just assume it's going to be there for you. When failures happen, you're like, I have to change myself. So I have to learn more. I have to get stronger. I have to put myself through pain. Fitness is nothing more than, it's about failures. It's about doing reps until you fail. It's about getting that last rep, or it's about burning yourself out and still trying to do a few more. If anybody is good at embracing failure, it's people in the fitness industry. It's people who embrace trying to challenge themselves. If you can get through that mental pain, the physical pain, it's nothing. Trust me. And you guys know this. Many of you do. Last point, and I'll take your comments and questions. I'm curious about what your visions are and your ambitions. Last one. Write checks your body can't cash. That's right. I'm not saying your mouth. Don't write checks with your mouth that your body can't cash. I want you to internalize it in your brain. Mentally, write a check. If you need to, physically, write a check. Write it down and put it in your drawer. Think about it. Put it in your wallet, your purse. Continue to reflect upon it. Write something that seems impossible and work towards it. Because what seems impossible to one person, remember the mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, bottom-feeding baboon that had an opinion about myself, about me and my physical abilities? He doesn't know what it's like to write a check that he can't cash. He doesn't want to take that risk. we have to be willing to take that risk if we're going to get beyond what we currently are. You have to break through that mold. In order to do that, you have to think about things that may seem impossible to other people. There's nothing impossible. If one person did it, other people can do it. If you saw somebody else achieve this, why not you? Write something that's impossible. You know why? Because you're going to drive towards something and achieve things you never thought were possible as you're leading to something even bigger and more seemingly impossible. Achieving the impossible. It's not impossible. Whatever your fitness goals are, whatever your dreams are, know yourself. Don't ask permission from others to get it. You got to look in the mirror. You got to say, I give myself permission. And when you give yourself permission, your body starts to listen. But your mind has to take over. Your mind oftentimes creates these negative thoughts, usually from outside sources. People that we trust, that we love, are, the people that we perhaps confide in at times. Well, certainly they're not going to steer us wrong. Well, no, they don't intentionally steer you wrong. Your loved ones think they're steering you in the right direction. Well, I don't want this person to get hurt. Well, guess what? We've already concluded in our mind, we've already prepared ourselves in our thoughts and the drive and the things we're focusing on, that there's going to be some disappointment along the road to this, but you're okay with that disappointment. Because the failures and the setbacks and the disappointments are all worth it. They're the building blocks that get you to the vision that's bigger. Does that make sense? So write checks that your body can't currently cash and reach for those, work for those, embrace those concepts day in and day out. Remind yourself what you want and give yourself permission to get that. Don't look to others that don't embrace the world of fitness and pain. Those people don't matter. Now, they might matter in your life. They might be important to you as an individual. They're your loved ones. They're your friends. Family, things of that nature. But when it comes to fitness, they may not understand what you're going through. And those aren't the people you reach towards. You have to reach towards somebody who understands the pain that you go through. The person that had an opinion about this impossible race out there never even did a 5K. Why would I consider their thoughts? I'm not going to seek permission for something that I know well. I've been through a lot of failures in fitness. I've been through a lot of failures physically, mentally, in life, and so have you. We've been through worse. But the vision, that's what's important. And that's what I want you to focus on. All right, guys, so that's what we're talking about today. Let me know what your vision is. Let me know what your impossible is. Tell me what you want to achieve. Don't ask me. Tell me. Tell yourself what you want to achieve. Don't ask for permission. Give yourself the permission. You have the permission to achieve it. All right, let's move on. Good to see you guys. Welcome this Friday morning. Obviously, we're not doing the workout today, right? Not yet. We're doing it at 12 p.m. So if you're coming in thinking we're going to do a live workout, not on Fridays. Friday is at 12, but it is our fitness challenge, and I thought this discussion worked appropriately for, what we're going to achieve this year. I think some of you are going to achieve some amazing things you already have, and 2018 is just going to raise the bar that much more. Good morning, AQ Chino. You Costa Rican warrior. Andrew's in the house. Jesse's here. Hello. Lion Cub, happy Friday. She's doing it in all caps. Happy all caps Friday to Lion Cub. You can't accomplish the stuff you believe you can. Don't let anyone tell you you can't accomplish the stuff. I totally agree. Their opinions don't matter. Nobody knows our life better than us unless we give them permission to know it better. If we constantly seek advice, I'm not asking you to seek advice. I'm asking you to seek answers. And sometimes that means you go out there and you search, but then you internalize it and you make it your own. And by doing that, you end up learning who you are better. Nobody knows themselves better than somebody who has pushed themselves through ultimate pain, whether physical or mental, but you learn the marks in life that you develop. You've learned that. I got that scar, but man, boy, do I have a story to back that up. It's battle wounds. You guys all have them. That's why you're here. You're not looking for quick fixes. You're not looking for short gains, because I don't promise you that on this channel. I promise you hard work. I promise you sweat. I promise you pain and bad jokes. And as a result, you're still here. That tells me something about your being, about you, what you've internalized in your life and what you've been through. So I know I'm basically talking to people of like mind, but sometimes we just need to be reminded of it. And occasionally somebody's going to stumble over this that are looking for like, oh, how many calories can I burn in this video? And they might find this video and realize, oh, it's not about the calorie burn. It's about your mental focus, and it's about building things in fitness. That the calorie burn is the wrong mindset. And it's unfortunate. Could so many fitness people be wrong about calorie burn and fat burn and, all this other? Yeah, absolutely. The majority is often wrong. It's unfortunate, but people tend to follow sheep. They follow the crowd. There's been studies done on this where the crowd tends to follow the multitude because there's this misconception that the multitude must know. And unfortunately, the multitude just goes along with the multitude. Do something for yourself. Do it on your own. That's not advice. That's just me speaking from my experience, and I have better results when I trust in myself. You have to have ultimate confidence when you're going to do something great. Okay, moving on. Bayu Kasuma Adi Septura, my buddy. Hi, Jake. Why are you not doing workout in the morning and Friday? Never do, bud. It's always 12 p.m. But it's good to see you. And hopefully you can come back at 12. We will be doing the fitness challenge at 12 p.m. Today. So hope to see you there, Bayou. Jesse, it's noon. Oh, yeah, answering Bayou's question. 12 a.m. in Indonesia, time to sleep. I'm sorry, bud. Yeah, it doesn't work. It's not the best for everybody on Fridays. I'm considering changing it. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I kind of like that. For the 2018 New Year, I considered doing more discussions like this on Friday, just to kind of regather our thoughts and then leaving Friday open for other stuff. Friday's a good day to do the fitness challenge. I'll probably continue to do that in 2018, but I haven't 100% decided that the time slots are right. I might pull the video back to early, but we'll see. We'll play it by ear. Simply Kate Morning just did the fitness test from earlier in December. Good job, Simply Amazing Kate. She's talking about the last one we did. I think it was back in December. And I wanted people to get their starting points before the new year. If you're just joining in, it's no big deal. I'd recommend you wait until the one we do this afternoon. But there is a fitness challenge I did back in December. It's on the. I don't have a link on it, but there's a thumbnail if you go in look in my videos, and also if you're part of the community, it was posted yesterday. So good job, Simply Amazing Kate. Curious how you did. Wonder if you broke some records of your own. I hope you did. Andrew, asking Kate how she did. That's the support we have out here. I did okay. Kept up with Jake on some, not so good on others. I will improve. Of course you will. And, I'm going to push a little harder than I did last time. That's one of those things where each time we're going to try to get faster and faster, but it's not going to be ridiculously faster. By the end of the year, you guys are going to be surprised on how well your times improve if you stay consistent with it. So good job, Simply Amazing Kate. Good morning, Rich. Good to see you, bud. The wizard in the house. Jesse said, I shared my 2018 goals with my best friend yesterday. She said I must be going through a midlife crisis and laughed at me. When I told her I crushed my 2017 goals, crickets. Yeah, it's the peanut gallery. I think I said this on a Facebook video last week or the other day or something where I was talking to a lot of you guys in the community, and it's true. There's a lot of people from the peanut gallery, and I will literally say this to people that I have no respect for when they feel like they need an opinion about things I've accomplished or want to accomplish. This is what I say. Peanuts, and then I move on. They don't know how to respond to that, but it sinks in. Unless there's some knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing buffoon, it sinks in. I'm going to say that a lot today because it brought back memories thinking about this person, thinking they had the permission to guide my ship and knowing and thinking they knew what I've been through in my life as to whether I could accomplish something. I don't need permission for that. Neither does Jesse, clearly. Good job. Good for you. Crickets, love it. Peanut gallery, have some. If people want to talk about it, tell them peanuts and move on. They won't know what that means. but you will, and then you can laugh. Good job, Jesse. You keep raising the bar. You know what's funny? If that person is close to you, and it sounds like they are your best friend, eventually you're going to be an example for that person. And so it's not a knock to them. Sometimes they just say things because they don't get it. It's their line of thinking. It's the multitude of thinking. Everyone thinks that way oftentimes because sheep bring us down. And when sheep bring us down, we all think we're on the logical thinking. Well, you know what? Anybody who's done anything great did not think logic like everybody else. And the same rules apply with fitness. The same rules apply for your ambitions and your goals and your dreams and your visions if they're up here. And they should be. You should always reach for the impossible. Because if you reach for what people think are the impossible, oftentimes you could probably achieve it. But at the same time, you're gonna gain so much more by raising the bar each time. Now, I'm not saying you don't have little goals too. You should. You should have little goals to keep accomplishing and keep getting better because you need that boost of energy to keep going towards that impossible. But at the same time, always keep it in mind. I'm proud of you, Jesse. Blue Emerald, good morning, Blue Emerald. Good to see you. AQ Chino said, and I lost it. Oh, man, you guys are busting it. I'm way behind. Yeah, Jesse, AQ Chino said, Jesse, Warriors are on a different level. And that's the idea. I really believe that. I believe I get a lot of people on this channel that are looking to raise the bar anyway. I will say it, and I'll say it more often this year. I said it last year, but I didn't say it enough because I still got how many calories. Every time someone asks me how many calories a video burns, and I know they're a subscriber, I get annoyed. I feel like I failed somewhere. So I'm going to remind people it's not about the calorie burn. If you're asking calorie burn, you're still not at that level yet. Once you realize it's not about calorie burn anymore, you become a relentless warrior. You've graduated. Calorie burn is for beginners. I don't consider anybody who follows this channel and does this workout a beginner. I know I'm not a beginner, and I want people to be at my level. I want people to pass my level. I want people to post video and say, hey, Jake, I just destroyed you in, I don't know, pistol rolls or whatever the case is, diver push-ups. I feel that can happen eventually. So I raise and push because those are the people that follow this channel. I agree with you. And I'm not just trying to be arrogant, cocky, or funny. I feel like the relentless focus is on a different level. I'm not going to lie about that. That's always been what I've been going for. Well done. Well said, you Costa Rican warrior. Well done. Moving on. Andrew said, people laugh at me when I say I get up at 4 a.m. to work out. Yeah, lazy people don't understand success. They just want it. Oh, I want abs. I want abs. How did you get your abs? Worked out my whole life. Yeah, they don't get it. Oh, Andrew, how'd you get in shape? Man, you look great. I wake up at 4 a.m. Oh, no, I don't want that. What's the most convenient way to get in shape? Oh, it's not, my friend. So if you're following this video right now and you're watching, you're not really a part of this channel and you're looking for a quick fix, go to another channel. I mean that sincerely because you're not ready for this yet. You're not ready for the truth. You're not ready to handle the stumbling blocks and heartaches of life. So you're always going to fail in this channel because you're going to have the wrong mindset. Go somewhere else and graduate there, then come back because people don't understand all the time that, oh, I got to go through the pain. You mean there's no quick fix? The fitness industry is the biggest culprit in this problem. We've convinced people, and I'm putting myself in there because you know what? I'm a part of it. We've convinced people that a program is going to get somebody in the best shape of their life. A 90-day program, a 60-day program. Oh, I lost 12 pounds and I'm ripped in 12 days. No, you didn't. No, it didn't happen. If you lost 90 pounds in 90 days, there's a lot of work to be done. You physically did something, but mentally, did you go through changes? Because that's the most important thing. You can get surgery done to lose the weight, right? But guess what? The wrong thing is being fixed. The exterior is being fixed, but the brain isn't fixed. So you haven't learned how to lose that weight. What makes you think you're going to keep it off? So, yeah, a lot of people aren't ready for that. Andrew, good for you. Kudos, you relentless warrior. Lion Cub. Jesse, when people tell you you're crazy or unable to achieve what you want, know that you're a bad example They're a bad example of how to approach failure. They failed and scared of failing again. Yeah, absolutely. People are often afraid of failure. Failure is just that. Oh, I don't want to fail. Well, then you don't want to achieve. Then you don't want to be your very best. You don't want to be at the top of your game, because anybody who's done something great has failed. Before I even, this is simple, but people often say they want to do scissor rolls. I didn't just do a scissor roll. Pistol squat, or I'm saying scissor rolls. It's pistol rolls. I don't know my own move. I couldn't just do a pistol squat. So scissor roll or pistol rolls started for me to be able to do a pistol squat. This was like 3 years ago. That's how the pistol rolls got started. I had to teach myself a way to get to that level. Most people who have that line of thinking are like, I'm not built for that, and they move on. I'm telling you, everybody's built to do something amazing physically. The human body is way more durable than we give it credit for. And the human mind is that much more stronger. So understand where I value your ambitions, your dreams, your visions. But guess what? It doesn't matter what I think. So don't ask me the opinion, because I'm just going to ask you in return. Hey, Jake, do you think I can do this? What do you think? Because it's what you think. That's what's going to propel you to get there. All right, I'm talking. Let's move on. Good point, Lion Cub. Good morning, Mitra. Good to see you. Welcome back to the Relentless Warrior family. I really want to get past my fear of failing this year. Holly, that's a really interesting point, and I'm glad you recognize that. Most people, that's their biggest fear. They don't want to fail. They don't want to look bad. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to try to get past, so people can understand that everything doesn't go right for anybody ever, like all the time. And a lot of times when fitness people post things, they're like, oh yeah, of course, they can do that. But there's a lot of things that I struggle with physically, so maybe I post more of those. Good for you, Holly, for wanting to get past that. That's a great ambition to have. Because when you get past failure, you have just given yourself permission to learn, to get better. A lot of times, people don't get to that level because it's like, oh, that fail sucked. I don't want to do it. I don't know. Years ago, I read something about how a child it thinks in a mindset they don't care about what people think of them, because if they did, we'd be in a world crawling all over the place. We wouldn't walk. And why is that? Because a child has to strengthen their legs. In order to do that, they have to fall down several times and learn how to use those muscles in their legs, how to get up from the squat position and use their quads and activate their glutes and get those muscles working. If they had an adult mindset, they'd never walk. Do you ever think of that? Like, children sometimes have a better example about getting over failure than adults, because we start thinking about, oh, well, what does this person think, or what does that person think? Who cares? Is that person the most amazing person in the world, that they never, fail themselves and they achieve everything? I don't worry about that. What you should focus on is this going to help propel me to get to my vision? And chances are, if you're learning from it, it will. Good for you, Holly. Hope you get over that fear. I think you will. Morning, Sam. Good to see you. Welcome back. Andrew, good morning. Saying good morning to Mitra. Andrew, I already. Lion Cub, Jesse continued, so they try to drag you down intentionally or not, because they can't grasp the concept of someone being stronger mentally. Yeah. Most people will give you a definition that's a little bit lower than them. Like it's okay, you could do good, just don't do better than me. And the moment you start thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do something that, they start thinking, well, you can't do something that I can't do. Oh, sure you can. Absolutely. If you believe enough and you work hard enough, and you're right, people will define you a little bit lower than themselves. And just understand that. Don't seek opinions, guys. Don't seek others' opinion. Actually give yourself the permission. And if somebody has an opinion, peanuts, and move on. All right, let's move on now. I'll move on. I just want to look good. I love working out, but my eating sucks. Hey, Andrew, at least you're honest. Looking good's a goal too, and I get it. We all want to look good. We all want to look good and feel good. And some people say, I hear people say, if you look good, you'll feel good. I don't know if that's true. I think you have to feel good first in here. And then you'll look better on the exterior. There's times where I feel like exteriorly I've looked good, but I haven't felt good. That the mindset plays a big factor in that. And I think if you have a strong mind, you're always going to look good. So yeah, good for you. Your eating sucks. It's only going to get better if you want to improve on that. If you don't, well, then fitness is one of those reasons where you can, have bad eating. Most people won't tell you that. Most people say, well, it's got to be the healthy way. I know I've had clients that tell me I work out so I can eat a lot of the things that I know that aren't healthy for me. And you know what? That's okay. Because my focus is at least you're working out. And that's going to reduce some of the unhealthy things in your life. It's going to be a lot less than it would be if you just sat on the couch watching television, eating Doritos, and never worked out. So at least you're keeping it at bay. And if you look good, you're going to feel good anyway. That's what they say. But still working on the mind. I really believe it comes to the mind. Sam says, people think I'm crazy for working out on top of all the classes I teach and training I do. Of course you're crazy. And Rich told me this, several months ago. He's like, if people are starting to call you crazy, keep doing it. It means you're onto something because you're doing something beyond the norm. The norm does the laborious, the mind-numbing, traditional rep after rep after rep of life, and going through the grueling day in and day out grind, never trying to challenge themselves. So the moment there's some sort of outlier that says, I'm going to do this. Oh no, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, you're onto something. Good job, Sam. My sister-in-law tells me I shouldn't work out as hard as I do. She says I should be more gentle on my body and I should only be doing yoga at my age. What are you, 90? No, I totally disagree. I have an uncle. He's 86 now. Still works out. I think 5 days a week. Pumps iron. He's a bodybuilder. He'd be the first one to tell you your body is resilient, and he still flexes occasionally. Still has biceps. I'm proud of him. I have a quote over here. You can't see it, but it's perspective. And one of his quotes are, basically, this is his quote. Some of my best lifts in the gym were at the age of 50. I don't know. Is your sister-in-law a fitness expert? Maybe. But I disagree with that. Good for you. Simply amazing, Kate. The human body is resilient. The human body was built for endurance, to endure, to withstand, to withhold. It's not a sprint. If it were, we would be like gnats and we would die within a couple of days. We're enduring creatures. When we put ourselves up against animals, most animals sprint faster than us. But then when we take those same animals and we drag that on for a 26.2 mile distance, we become the elites because many of these animals don't have the endurance and the pace that we do. We're enduring creatures. And our body can go through a whole lot more than we think. It's our mind that tells us we can't. The moment our mind adjusts something, our body adjusts with it. Oh, I can't do that. Guess what? Then you can't. Oh, that sucks. I ain't doing this. You could say that sucks, but the moment you say you're not doing it, your mind starts to create this new circuit in your line of thinking that says, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. It's not worth it. A lot of times a failure does that to us. But if we embrace the failure, we understand this is that moment where I can build off of it. Failures do suck. They hurt. They sting. The success is we start thinking, I'm good. Yeah. You see me do that? But you don't learn from it. It's our ego. It feels great. But ultimately, that success became because of failure. Many of you know this already. Good for you, Simply Amazing Kate. You could check her out this week. Her video is coming up, and her mom does yoga as well. Yoga is great, but our bodies can do fitness the rest of our lives. I'm a firm believer of that. We can do some sort of fitness the rest of our lives. I don't care if you're 90 or if you're 19. Fitness should exist in our life just as much as we should do fitness in our mind. Morning, Marta. Good to see you, you relentless warrior. Andrew, fighting words. Only a relentless warrior is ready to take it on. The honey badger claws come out and start scratching and clawing. Love it. You guys are awesome. Okay. This is why the group helped. Rich said, focus on what you want to be And always ask yourself if what you are doing brings you closer or further away from your vision. I can't put it better than that. That's brilliant. And it's something that we have to remind ourselves every day. You know, you go out into the world and you're surrounded by, I hate to say it, knuckle-dragging baboons that don't have a line of thinking beyond the norm, beyond the grind. And everybody wants the amazing, but nobody wants to do anything that's detrimental to their body, to their pain tolerance, or drives them past their comfort zone to get it. We have a different line of thinking here, and please embrace that. This is why the group helps so much. We're crazy. We're all crazy in here. Yeah, a little bit. But it's the normal people you got to worry about. Those are the ones that struggle and have the complaining attitudes, and everything's negative. The world sucks, and then they look at somebody like you who's trying to do something amazing. They're like, no way. Welcome to the world, but it's not true. They're not living in the world. I'd rather live hard and risky for 30 years and have adventures to talk about than live to 90 and do nothing. That's just the way I feel. I think that the human body should have scars. I don't want to die without scars. I have some. I want to collect some more. There's nothing wrong with getting, with getting some of those battle wounds to talk about, to say, this is where I've been. This is the definition of me. This is my character. This is something that everyone else told me I couldn't do, and I did. And as a result, I gained this scar. And nothing wrong with that. Don't die without any scars. Scars in battle. Yes, this group is huge for me. Real life people try to discourage. This group inspires. We better keep it that way. I say better. That's my job to make sure it stays that way. And there's enough honey badgers in this group already that I feel like if I were to go on this weird outlier, you guys would claw and scratch me back, or push me out. And I appreciate that. That's a sign that something's being created that my intentions were valid. Like, this is what I wanted. I want people that I don't want everybody. I don't want everybody to follow this community. If there's somebody who brings in negativity, I'm not going to like that. I will. This is not like the comment section. Somebody's not going to like this, but if the comment section gets negative, I'll block those people who continue to bring the negativity. It's not I want people to say what's on their mind. Sometimes, we just need to vent. But if there ever becomes scratching and clawing each other, that's not what this is about. This is about building each other up. We take enough of that, right? We get enough of that out there. Well said. I appreciate that. Holly, so I would like to do a Spartan race, but my fear of failing has kept me from trying. Guess what? Holly, you can do a Spartan race. I know you can. You can complete a Spartan race. Will you get through every obstacle? I don't know. You try. If you don't get through every obstacle, you do burpees, which is great. You pay for the failure. And as a result of that, you're going to get in even better shape by doing it. Do a Spartan race. I want to know, what I want you to do is, and it's up to you, but if you want to do a Spartan race, you have to sign up for it. And which means, no, I'm not going to sign. I'm going to sign up next month. No. Sign up today. Don't give yourself time to think about it. The best way to learn something is to jump into the fire. And while people think that's reckless, I know the workouts you've been doing. I know how committed you've been. This is not going to injure you in any serious way. You will be focused. Will failures happen in the road? Yeah, failures will happen. I've gotten hurt during races. I know other people have gotten hurt during races, and there's been injuries and things. They've come back, and they've done races again. Sign up for it. Holly, you can do it. I've seen it. I've seen people in less shape as you complete Spartans. You'll be surprised on what your body can accomplish, and it won't be enough. I'm telling you. You'll complete your first Spartan, and you are going to crave more. It won't be enough. It won't. I've done Spartan races. You're going to be a little dissatisfied. Spartans are great. Races in general, adventure races or ultra running or whatever, you challenge yourself with, it's terrific. But one is never enough. You're always going to want more. You're always going to want to push. You got to try the first one. Please sign up. All right, moving on. I'm not going to preach. You don't need me to tell you. So where are we at? Paprika, morning, guys. As I listened to Jake, I couldn't help but think that this mentality transcends outside of the gym for me. I know this is a fitness channel, and that's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear coming from somebody who has dedicated learning the mind in her life. You know, she's a therapist, and she recognizes that the mental and the physical have a lot in common. The mental has to be in order, but the physical can also help the mental. Depression sucks. It does. We all go through it, I think, occasionally. I think sometimes our body has to go through it. That depression, sometimes I actually heard Jim Carrey say this once, that sometimes your body needs it. Think of it as this way, deep rest. And that's interesting because sometimes we do need that. But then you have to grind out of it. And by grinding out of it, sometimes the fitness gets you out of it for the most part. But mental and physical together, you become a stronger, more resilient human. And you start to achieve things that you never could fathom before. Sam said, finished my fitness challenge already. Sam, how'd you do? I'm sure you crushed it. Congratulations. Paprika says, but along with my fitness goals, I'm thinking about how others didn't want me to open my practice again and the obstacles I had to overcome to do so. Yeah, people are quick to put stumbling blocks in front of us of fear. You know, they're going to impress their fears on us, which is why we have to be very confident in ourselves first. Going back to number 1, know yourself. Know thyself. And if you know yourself well, the mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging, bottom-feeding baboon of peanut galleries will never mean anything. In fact, it'll be comical because they don't know themselves as well as you know yourself, and they're coincidentally trying to tell you the definition of you. It's funny. It's comical. I love it when people have opinions about what I should do. I just laugh and say, that's a good idea, and do what I was planning on doing anyway. Have confidence in what you're doing. If you work hard at something, you're going to have confidence. And the harder you work at something, the more you put into your body and invest in yourself, the less likely somebody's going to sway you off your goals. I read it before years ago. The longer you invest in something, the harder you invest, the harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. I paraphrased it somehow, but the point is still there. We're less likely to give up when we've pushed ourselves to that limit and beyond it. Good point, Paprika. I like this. AQ Chino, you Costa Rican warrior. Holly, you are just failing by not trying. You got it. I agree. It's the fear of it is part of the thrill as well. And I'm not saying to be a thrill seeker. I'm not suggesting that jumping out of a plane is where you should go at this point. But sometimes when you conquer that fear, that's empowering. It helps you go back to number 1. It's like, man, I was afraid of this, but I did it anyway. You learn more about you. And when you know yourself, you embrace failures more because you know you can overcome the failures. And so you go for more. You fail more. The more you fail, the more you grow, especially if you learn from it. And you will learn from it if you're working at it. And then you're willing to write checks that your body can't currently cash, but you know you're going to get there eventually. I'm going to do 50 pull-ups by next year. Write that check. Work for it. You'd be surprised on how many pull-ups you get. Speaking from experience 2 years ago when I wrote that check. All right, moving on. Rich says, you Costa Rican, where are you guys? Skipping all over the place. Fat fingers, but I'm blaming some of this on YouTube. Jesse, good encouragement. Look at you, warrior. I just love how warriors jump in. Here's the thing, too, the mindset that I love. And I don't know what inspired this, but it really is the mindset of the relentless warrior. We're kind of all honey badgers. We're not in a bully way, but in a we have your back way. I love that. I don't want that to end. Rich says, goal expert editor, get in the best shape of my life, including cardio. Become stronger mentally, physically, and emotionally. Appreciate those that support me. Those are his goals. He's sharing them with you. He's not asking for permission. He's just putting it out there. Sometimes I like putting goals out there that sound impossible just to hear people's response. Now, we probably won't get that on this wall because, again, it's like telling another honey badger that, we're going to go get honey. Of course, we're honey badgers. We get it. But when you tell somebody else in the world who don't have that mindset, it's fun. And yeah, Rich has a lot of high expectations and ambitions. I won't go into detail, but Rich, he's got other focuses in things he's learned most of his life. He jumped into editing. I never had to teach him anything. He asked me how I learned. I said, well, I just kind of started doing it. I never took classes on editing. So not only does he edit through professional software, he's taken it to the next level. And, I love that he put in editor because I know he's got certain ambitions of where he wants to take this channel on the editing level and the professional level. And he constantly reminds me of that, and I love hearing it. And you guys will see those differences. If you haven't already, if you've seen some of the new creativity out there, it's not this guy. It's the wizard at work. All right, moving on. All right, I jumped out again. Wow, you guys have been at it. I skipped something. Let me find where I was at. Sorry, guys. My kombucha hurts as I look at this right now. Here we go. I did your fitness test this morning, and all I can say is I have a lot to improve this year. That's fine. The fact that you learned something, you're going to move forward as a result of that. We have to learn what we're capable of and what we're incapable of to know what we can set our future goals at. When I say write checks your body can't cash, obviously there has to be some sort of activity involved to get us to that next level. We can't just sit around and expect it to mystically get there. Good for you. You did the fitness test, which means we went through failures, to get there. And to beat your next fitness test, you'll have to go through more failures. But Tia knows this. Tia's been through life. Tia's got some scars to prove it. And kudos to Tia. Continuing on. No excuses. And I love that. Tia is also a prime example of their age. Fitness is ageless. And I hope she don't mind me sharing this, but she trained with me, broke her arm, came back, and she's training again. She was, I don't know, she was above 50 then. She's still above 50. Of course she's still above 50. There's no excuse. Age, don't use age. And people who use age just use it to be lazy. I'm sorry. It's just laziness. And there's no lazy mindsets on here. Marta, question about the challenge. I never hopped the inchworms, messed up my back before and paranoid I may do it again. Does walking them defeat the purpose of the challenge? No, it does not. You can modify any of those moves. Take note that you modified it. So you know in the future, if you don't have to modify it anymore, you know that you made that as an improvement. But I would always encourage you to change the move so that you can accomplish it. So absolutely great question, and the answer is no, it does not change or defeat the purpose of the challenge. Good for you, Marta. Thank you for that. Hello, Joy. Good to see you. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you for a while. Come on back. Come back at 12 p.m. We got to work out. It's a challenge. Awesome Kid, 367. Hi, Jake. It's Carrie. Carrie, good to see you. Sorry I'm late. No problem. Thanks for joining in. And welcome to the Relentless Warrior family live. And I haven't seen you live before. Have you ever been live? If so, I apologize that I missed that. But welcome back otherwise. Holly said, thanks, Jesse. And AQ, I just need to convince myself. Absolutely. Don't let others convince you. When you convince yourself, that's when you know you're ready. If I can urge you to do anything, this isn't advice. This is just how I handled it. I went on the website, I put my credit card down, and I paid for it. That's what I did. Didn't think about it. When I knew I wanted to do something, I signed up for it that day. The impossible. Do it. Convince yourself to do it. So true, Jake. Never quick fixes. How do you help people understand that? Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. You can't, really. I can't convince somebody. That's why I don't give advice. I give experience. This is what I learned. Take it or leave it. People are going to see your example, and maybe that'll change. If you have enough impression upon that person, they might listen to you, but you can't change somebody's thinking. Just like I can't change your line of thinking, you can't change mine. We have to convince ourselves that our line of thinking is wrong or it needs improvement, and it's not until that point that I'll be willing to change or that person in your life is willing to change. All we can do is hopefully our drive rubs off on them. And when they see the success, it might for a short period of time, but the other question is, are they mentally prepared for the failure? And perhaps remind them of that. Remind them of the number 2. Failures happen. Embrace it. Embrace failure. That's all I got for that, unfortunately. Andrew says, I appreciate your videos and the intuition. I'm thankful for people on this channel. You guys are awesome. Well, Andrew, you're a part of it, and you're just as awesome. He says, I must go to work now and see you guys Saturday. Woot, woot. Yeah, see you Saturday. We'll be here. We're going to be having some fun. Looking forward to it. Hope work goes well. Holly, where is the fear coming from? Interesting question, Holly. Ask yourself, where's the fear coming from? Sign up. Let us know. Good encouragement. Thank you. Awesome kid. 367. Like it. I like that name. Kate, it's mostly being told that I can't by others. That influences me negatively. Well, Holly, you're not alone. It doesn't make you weak. So don't tell yourself that either. And I don't know if I left that impression. You're not weak if somebody influences you. We've all been influenced incorrectly at some point in our life. The point is, the more you learn yourself, the more you listen to yourself. And eventually, when you get past that barrier where it's like, I'm going to listen to me instead, and you realize I was right, you'll be surprised on how much better you know yourself than the person that was close to you. The negative influences, they're not always intentional. Usually, people aren't trying to drive you downward. They just do it because that's the way they think. I think you're on a different level these days, and you're considering a Spartan race for a lot of reasons. And there's a reason why your body is telling you to go for it. You have that thirst. Well, I don't know, quench it. And the only way to quench it is to sign up. And once you sign up, you're committed, and it gives you something to train for even more. Guess what? The moment you sign up, training in your mind begins. It's like, I got to do it for the Spartan. I got to do it for this. I got to do it for that. And it becomes a little bit easier to get the impossible, because now you have another goal that you're thinking about. The outside influences won't matter at that point, because you'll have invested so much pain, so many failures, and have overcome so much that their opinion is just going to almost be laughable. Just from my experience. No such thing as failing. That's actually very true. That's actually a very good point. Failing is nothing more than learning. You only fail when you don't try, and I think the Costa Rican warrior brought that up. Or somebody did. It was Andrew, the Costa Rican warrior. It's not doing it. And you're right. It's not actually failing. It's not failing, especially if you're learning from it. And like I said, I've learned more from the things that I didn't accomplish than the things that I did. I learned more from the first year I didn't accomplish that race than the last two. In fact, the last year I didn't learn any. I mean, I took all the things I learned, but I actually didn't train for that year. I think I trained for like 4 weeks. Whereas most people train all year for a race like that. But it wasn't because I was just like this superhero being. I learned a lot from the past, and because of the pains I put myself through, I knew what to expect, and I learned how to finish it easier. Yeah, no failure. My goal in 2018, get in the best shape of my life. Love it. I think is achievable if we follow this program Jake is giving us. Past years, I made my own weekly program, and that is hard in improvising no good. Well, I appreciate that, you Costa Rican warrior. I believe in my programs, obviously. I think we're well-rounded on this channel. I think we're well-balanced. I pull from so many different things in my life, whether it be ultra running, adventure races, swimming, triathlons, things of that nature. From the physical I've been in the past, and I just try to incorporate a lot of that. But none of that really matters, truly. It doesn't. What matters is that people stay committed to it, and if you stay committed to it, I feel like any program actually works. Now, which one works better than the other? I'm a big believer of multidimensional strengths. If you're great at one thing, but you suck at something else, to me, it lacks a fitness quality. And the idea is to get so many different fitness qualities surrounding you that somebody can tell you to go do this physically, and you won't think twice about it because you're good at it. So thanks for that. I appreciate that. And you will. I feel like you will get in the best shape of your life because you're a dedicated warrior. Holly, we got you. Go get it. You're also a honey badger. I love that. My kids are my biggest supporters. Well, then focus on them. No kid, I kid you not. Kids don't usually know how to discourage when it's somebody they love. That's one thing I love about kids. They're going to be honest with you, but they'll support you, and those are the people you focus on, the ones who give you support. When you get strong enough, you're going to want the negative thinkers too. But right now, stay away from those people. Stay away from those who are influencing you, and in a negative way. That's what worked for me. These days, I don't know if it matters. I kind of like, I actually feed off of sometimes the negativity and told I can't do things. And that'll come in time, I think, too, once you accomplish a few. And then somebody who's never done it, who has advice for you, it's just going to be hilarious. I'm already talking to you like you're doing a couple of them. You haven't even signed up for the first one, because I've seen this before, Holly. I've been in this industry for a long time. The moment someone starts talking about it and I know they're working out, they do it. And they don't just do it once. They do it twice, 3 times, 4 times. They become like the guru of it. There's some people they took on adventure racing, and they've probably done more than I have now. RR's here. Good morning, Relentless Warriors. I have a lifetime goal of completing the Pacific Crest Trail. The Continental Divide Trail. I know I can do it physically, but the daily mental grind will be the test. Yeah, when you get into something like that, it's always the mental. It's on a different level. I mean, you're probably right. You're probably physically already there. The mental is what beat me down in the hard things, on things like this. The day in and the day out, the grind, the pain. But then you get past the pain, and it's just like, oh, you have to go into this like tunnel vision state. It is a different level. You can do it. You can. Do it. Don't worry about failing. Don't even think about it. Just do it. I love that. It's probably Nike needs to push that even harder. That was the best slogan they've ever had. Anna Garcia, Holly, count me in if you sign up for a Spartan race. I love that. We can meet up, say halfway, like Chicago. That would be awesome. Come visit me. And I'm with you on this one, girl. Let's do it. Our confidence is back. Beautiful. There you go. There's always somebody willing to go in the fight with you. You don't have to do it alone. And one thing I'll say about the Spartan race that was really great, it is kind of a team effort of getting it done. Now, you do it on your own, but there are a lot of supporters there. And there's other races like that as well. It's not just the Spartan. The Spartan name happened to come up, but there are a lot of others. Huge camaraderie. I've been in ultra races, great camaraderie. I've been in other races where it's just like, but you get those too. And those are usually the races where like everybody already expects you to be at a different level. And it's not as like bonding and not, so I think a Spartan's a great choice. There you go. Anna Garcia is on your side. I probably can't keep up with you. And let me talk about that for a second. So, sometimes a race isn't about racing others. When you go into a Spartan, if you've never done it, it's truly about accomplishing the task in front of you. And in any race like that, it's truly that. It's designed kind of like life. There's obstacles. Like life has obstacles. And, some of those obstacles you're going to fail at, but you're going to see as you test yourself how your body responds to those obstacles. Like, okay, I failed at it, but I'm still in the race. And so you stop focusing on who you can beat, and you start focusing on how many more of these can you accomplish and cross the finish line. It's truly about that. And I don't know if Anna's ever been in one, but it sounds to me like she probably has, and she understands that. You will understand that when you do your first one. All right, moving on. Sam says, I have to get to work. Butts to kick. Stay crazy, my friends. Love the crazy. Sam, go kick some butts. Thanks for joining in. Jen is in the house. Kate, no one tells warriors they can't. When I hear that, my response is, oh, really? Then I proved them wrong. We call her the whip for a reason. By the way, I'll tell you something interesting, and I don't know if Jen was in the beginning of this story, but Jen is very familiar with these 3 races. She was a part of it. She was the organizer. She was the logistics girl. She was the reason I finished the last 2 years. Her and like the team that helped me out, you know, her husband was a big supporter. The last race I did, it's one of those things where find something that requires other people of like mind and strength to help you accomplish it, because it makes that bond stronger. So she does understand that. Like, we achieved the impossible. In the second year of the race, again, a race that has a very high dropout rate, I got lost for 4 hours. I got lost in the trails for 4 hours. The temperature went from 39 degrees to negative 20 degrees within a 10-hour period, Jen. I think it was 10 hours. And then it started to snow. So it was basically a whiteout. Couldn't see the trails. Trees were blowing down, 40-mile-an-hour winds. Lost the trail, 4 hours off the course. Jen helped me direct myself back on the course by telling me to shut my light off. I did the rest of my race without light because I followed the stars, basically. And I finished with 20 minutes to spare. You had 24 hours to finish the race. I still finished. So it's pretty interesting. The right person will guide you back on course and help you accomplish something. You trust in those people, because I've always had somebody like that in my life to achieve the impossible. Hate to harp on it, but it is true. You guys are unbelievable. I'm going to scroll down. We're almost out of time here. We are out of time. Technically, I wanted to go on for an hour, but you guys have been really good back and forth. I love the camaraderie. And Holly's gonna be signing up for Spartan Race, from what I understand. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Anna said, there's Susanna. I almost passed you up. I'm sorry, Susanna. Welcome back. Good to see you again. You coming to the live. You relentless warrior. Bravo for this group. Bravo for you for joining in. I welcome you back. We're gonna be coming back 12 p.m. Central Standard Time today, and there's a fitness challenge. I encourage you to be there for that. Anna said, that's why I went for the burpees challenge, because I most likely won't complete the obstacles. So burpees it is. Don't think like that. You probably will complete a lot of the obstacles. Some of them you might not. I've been, you know what, in the Spartan races I've done, I have failed at some obstacles too. So burpees away, and the burpees will be nothing for you, as Anna knows. I better bring up my burpee game. That's funny. You guys are unbelievable. All right, moving on down. Teresa, let's see. What did Marta say? Marta, you should become a BC and do the Tough Mudder in Whistler. Yeah. Tough Mudder's another one. Pretty similar to the Spartan. They're both cool. Stitch, Lady Stitch in the house. Good to see you. Good morning. Love to see you in the live. Thanks for joining in. Teresa says, though, Holly, all of us would continually encourage you before and during the race. We have your back, and now that we know it's your goal, we will help you make it happen. Absolutely. Make it happen. Sign up for it. Christine, thank you. I love you too. Christine, always good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Unnecessary, but I appreciate it. The heat stays on another day. Thank you very much. Always welcome back. Good positive attitude. Christine, you're always killing it too. You are a true relentless warrior. Christine, I don't know if you know, we're honey badgers in here. You know that. The motivational speech goes great with working out. I'm crushing it this morning. Of course you're crushing it, Rich. You're a beast. If you guys came to Chicago, I think I'd think of doing another Spartan. There you go. Paprika brought the challenge up. Okay, so if you come to Chicago, I'll do a Spartan with you. So Paprika and myself, why not? Let's do it. If somebody wants to sign up for a Spartan in Chicago right now, I will sign up today. I will. You sign up for a Spartan, let me know. In Chicago, it's got to be in Chicago because I don't know what my schedule is going to be like outside of that, but I can make the Chicago one happen. Let me know. I'll sign it up. Paprika already said she would sign up. I'll probably convince Rich to sign up. I'm sure he's already thinking in his mind, I'm signing up too, because that's how he is. So there you go. You have some support in Chicago too. Come to Chicago. We'll do it with you. Thanks, Paprika, for bringing that up. Because I think she knew I would probably say I would do it too. One more for the team. If I do a third, I'm dragging the professor along with her first. There you go. The professor hasn't done a Spartan. We'd be happy. Maybe we should just put a Chicago Spartan out there. Teresa says, I don't have anyone for or against me, just indifference, non-interest in fitness, so they don't really get it. Yeah, sometimes that's just as bad, Teresa. But you're dedicated, you're pushing your limits, you're doing amazing things, and it's a shame that sometimes people in your life don't really understand it, but it is making you a better person, and you're making yourself a better person, and that's what's important. Jen is awesome, Marta. I lost it. Good grief, where'd it go? Fat fingers. Jen is awesome, and I didn't make that story up. The second year, I was lost for 4 hours. I truly was. It didn't look like I was going to finish. In fact, one of the organizers said, you're not going to finish. You know, where my pace was based on how much time was left to finish. And I said, well, you know what? Then I'm not going to finish, but I'm going to try. And I called Jen up. I was like, I'm lost. I can't get out of here. And she's like, shut your light off. Look up at the stars. Focus. Go towards this way. I found the trail, and the rest is history. I finished. Thanks to Jen. I don't believe in impossible. I believe in I'm possible. I like that, Jen. That might be a t-shirt. Okay, Chicago it is. Who just said that? All right, Anna. Anna, Holly, Paprika. We got the professor. Who else is in? We're doing Chicago this year. Jordan, love this channel. Always positive energy. Jordan, love you too. And welcome back, man. You've been really encouraging. Love to see you guys. Always joining in. I love this community. Awesome Kid 367. Let me know the date. I'd love to do a Spartan with you if I can. There we go. We got another person. So if it is in Chicago, I'm in. And yeah, if it's not in Chicago, just let me know where it's at. I'm not saying I won't make it happen. I might, but Chicago, I can promise you I can make that happen. Yeah, let me know the date too. Post it. If you're not a part of the Relentless community on Facebook, make sure you join. It's in the link in the section below, and join up and post it there. We will talk about it. We will get to the next level, and we'll start doing Spartan stuff. He was irate. It was crazy. Best race ever. Yeah, Jen was talking about when I was lost. My mental was gone, and I'm going to leave you guys with this point because I got to go. But here's the point here. No matter what you've been through, no matter how hard you've trained, and for the second year, I can honestly say my training was harder than the race itself physically. I put my body through amazing things, endurance things, day in and day out, hundreds of miles. Sometimes on those miles, I would have 90 pounds on my back. And all the physical I was prepared for. But sometimes mentally, you cannot prepare for that. And which is where it's very important to have the support crew in your life that brings you back. And I'm glad Jen brought this up because I lost it mentally. You know, I was 40 some odd miles in the race. I was probably 50 some odd miles on my legs because I was lost, desperately trying to find the trails. And it was 40-mile-an-hour winds. I couldn't see anything in front of me. Sub-zero temperatures. I was getting frostbite in my fingers. I was losing it. Jen brought me back. Find somebody in your life that brings you back, whether it's this community, whether it's somebody else in your life who has the like mind. Find that person that says, hey, you've been here before. You got this. Because that's going to be the person that you're going to trust when other things come around, and when other people are quivering over it, you guys will say, we got this. And that's what makes it important. A few more comments and then we're going to move on. You guys want the Spirit, Super, or Beast? Or the Sprint? So Jen is asking for the Sprint, the Super, or Beast, or Trifecta. 30% off races right now. Jen's already pushing it. Jen was the logistics girl in almost everything when it comes to races and stuff like that. She's great. So Rich just said he's in. So we got the wizard. All right. So Holly, here you go. This is for today. We have the wizard. We have me. We have Paprika. We have the professor, I think. I haven't talked to her, but I'm going to send her a message after this. And I'm sure more people are on board, others saying they're in. If you can do it in Chicago, we got your back. Anna's doing it as well. It looks like you and Anna are doing it anyway. If you guys can meet in Chicago, you can do it in Chicago. So I'm in as well. June 23rd through the 24th in Richmond, Illinois. All right, that's not Chicago, but I'll do it anyway. I don't even know where Richmond's at. Should I know where that's at? She really is the whip. Yeah, Holly, you have no idea. That's how she got her name. But I love her for it. And we all love her for it. Marta says, getting lost can be freaking terrifying. Your mind just goes. Happened to me before. If you don't calm down and refocus, you're done. Yeah. That was year 2. And yeah, you've been there. You've been on a lot of hikes. It happens. And when you're in inclement weather like I was at, it was that much harder. I learned a lot about myself that day. And it's interesting. I'm glad I went through it. I'm glad I got through it. But at the same time, I've learned how to keep myself out of situations like that. Not that it will never happen again. It probably will. Rich and I do some crazy stuff when we travel. We'll probably get lost. There'll probably be issues. We joked about, like, that's probably how we're going to die. But don't ever feel sorry for us because, we're doing something. We're challenging ourselves. We're pushing to limits. We're doing things that we love, and that's the idea. So, yeah, let's keep talking about this Spartan. Thank you, Holly, for bringing that up. Let's take this convo to Facebook. I agree because I have to close out. Guys, I appreciate you joining in. Thanks for watching. I love this community. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep motivating one another. Reach your ambitions, your goals, your visions. Don't give others the permission to challenge it. Know yourself. Failures happen, embrace it, and write checks your body can't cash because someday you'll be able to. Thanks for watching. I always remember, eat healthy, train hard, most especially have fun. I'm Relentless Jake. You remember, stay focused, stay dedicated, and I'll see your beautiful faces later today or tomorrow. And I'm out. Bam! Spartan race. Let's sign up for that.